What's up there guys, GarethWilliam414 here, and today I am bringing you Jaden Yuki's Season 1 deck profile. This deck was really hard to make. Jaden uses a lot of very situational cards, and his draw power, when it comes to drawing the right card at the right time, is absolutely unbelievable. So it did take a while to chop and change this deck and build it, so it was both authentic to his Season 1 deck and at the same time actually playable and a fun deck to play. So don't forget to head over to my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh character deck profiles, character deck duels and Yu-Gi-Oh openings, and also if you could smash that like button down below, that would be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to start with none other than his monsters. And I run 2 copies of Elemental Hero Avian. The reason I run 2 of these monsters is because Jaden's deck is extremely based around fusion monsters. So we want to make sure that you're actually drawing into them. I used to run them at 1, but you just never see them. Running them at 3, you saw too many of the same card, and 2 was just perfect. So 2 Elemental Hero Avian, as well as 2 Elemental Hero Bustinatrix, 2 Sparkman, and 2 Clayman. Next up we have Elemental Hero Bubbleman, Elemental Hero Wildheart. This guy's awesome. He's a 4-star monster, 1500 attack, except he's got an effect of this card is unaffected by the effects of trap cards, which is awesome. Next up we've got Elemental Hero Necroshade. This guy's, he's not the best in terms of like attack and defense points, but it's his effect that you want really. When he's in the graveyard, only once you can normal summon 1 Elemental Hero monster from your hand without tributing any monsters. And there's only really 1 monster in his deck that you're going to want to do this with, and that is Elemental Hero Blade Edge. He's a 7-star monster with 2600 attack, and he also has piercing. So hopefully you can draw Elemental Hero Necroshade, find a way of discarding him to the graveyard, and then hopefully with a bit of luck, Jaden's luck, you're going to be able to draw this guy and then bring him to the field. So that's it for his Elemental Hero normal monsters anyway. We have Dark Catapulter. Then we've got Rottweiler. Rottweiler is cool. His effect is when this card is destroyed as a result of battle and sent to the graveyard, add from your graveyard to your hand 1 card that includes Elemental Hero in its card name and 1 polymerization, which is awesome. Next up, I run 3 Hero Kids. The reason I run 3 is basically because of its effect. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon any number of Hero Kids from your deck. Which is good. If you need a defense, you're going to want that. Then I've got, obviously, Winged Karibo. It needs to be in there. Jaden's best friend. And finally, I've got Winged Karibo level 10, which looks awesome. Check him out. I love that. Brilliant. So that's it for Jaden's monsters. I'm going to start with the huge amount of spell and traps. So Jaden runs 2 copies of polymerization. Obviously, like I said, his deck is all about those fusion monsters, so you're going to want to get you're actually going to want to draw polymerization so you can start fusing. Then I run H Heated Heart, which basically gives your monster 500 added attack points, and it gives it piercing as well, which is awesome. And I've got E Emergency Call. Add 1 monster from your deck to your hand that includes Elemental Hero in its name. R Righteous Justice. Destroy spell or trap cards on the field equal to the number of face-up Elemental Hero cards you control. And finally, I have O Oversoul, which completes the hero spell cards there. You select 1 normal monster in your graveyard that includes Elemental Hero in its card name and special summon it to your side of the field. Awesome. Next up, I have Bubble Blaster. This card you're going to equip to Bubbleman, and basically what it does is it raises its attack points by 800, and if Bubbleman is destroyed, instead of destroying Bubbleman, the equip card is destroyed instead. Another equip card I've got here is Spark Blaster, and you equip this to Sparkman. Basically, during your main phase of your turn, you can change the battle position of 1 face-up monster. You can use this effect 3 times. Then I've got Feather Shot. Miracle Fusion. This is basically polymerization, but except the the fusion materials need to be on the field, and instead of sending them to the graveyard, they are removed from play instead. Then I've got Fusion Sage, which you just basically add one polymerization card from your deck to your hand. Fusion Recovery, you target one polymerization and one fusion material monster that was used for a fusion summon in your graveyard and add them to your hand. So it's basically just Rockweiler's effect, but as a spell card. Then I've got Defusion, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, Silent Doom. A combo that we saw Jaden use so much during Season 1 was Emergency Provisions and Mirage of Nightmare. Then I've got the Flute of Summoning Kuriboh and Transcendent Wings, so we can get that Wing Kuriboh level 10 out. Another card that you used a lot during Season 1 is the Warrior Returning Alive. Then we've got a field card here, Fusion Gate, and the final spell card in his deck, well, Season 1 deck that I run anyway, is Skyscraper. This card is awesome, and he'd use this a lot during Season 1. So when a monster that includes Elemental Hero in its card name attacks, if the attack is lower than the attack of the attack target, increase the attack of the attacking monster by 1,000 points during the damage calculation only, which is awesome. So that's it for Jaden's spells. I'm going to move on to his trap cards now. So we start with the awesome Mirror Force. Then we've got Mirror Gate, classic Jaden card, Hero Signal. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon one level 4 or lower elemental hero monster from your hand or deck. Then we've got Hero Barrier, which is basically negate attack but for heroes. Hero Ring. A hero emerges, he'd use this one so much, I think he used this like throughout GX, but basically your opponent selects one random card from your hand, and if it's a monster card you can special summon it to your side of the field. If it's not a monster card, then that card is sent to the graveyard. Then I've got Draining Shield. This card is basically like Magic Cylinder, except instead of your opponent attacking and them receiving it as damage, you add that to your life points. I couldn't get around that one. Then we've got Negate Attack, Solemn Judgment. You pay half your life points just to say no and negate pretty much anything. And his final trap card, I've got Kid Guard. So when an opponent's monster declares an attack, tribute one hero kid, negate the attack, and then add one elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand. So you'll probably never really use it, but you know, I've got it in there anyway, just in case. So that's it for his trap cards. We're going to move on to one of the biggest extra decks I've ever seen. So we're starting off with none other than the Flame Wingman. This guy is absolutely amazing. So he's got 2,100 attack. And let's have a look. When this card destroys a monster as a result of battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. Which is absolutely amazing. And obviously Wingman was like his number one monster in the first series anyway. So a lot of love for the Flame Wingman. Next up we've got Elemental Hero Thunder Giant, and basically with this card he's got 2,400 attack, and his effect is you discard one card from your hand to select and destroy one face-up monster on the field with an original attack that is less than the attack of this card. The cool thing about this is that you can use this effect once per turn during your main phase, which is pretty cool. Then we've got Elemental Hero Rampart Blaster. Basically, if this is in face-up defense position, you can attack your opponent's life points directly. If you do, you apply half the attack of this card for damage calculation. Then I've got Elemental Hero Mariner, Mudball Man, Steam Healer, Wild Edge, Necroid Shaman, Wingman, an absolute classic. I love this one. Elemental Hero Tempest. Mine's not in the best of condition, as you can see, so I'm really hoping to pick up a new one. Bless it. Then we've got an absolute classic of a fusion monster. You rarely get to pull this one off, but it's amazing when you do. It's Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. Look at that guy. He's so awesome. I love it when you get him off. And then his final fusion monster, which you're probably never going to get off, I mean, unless you're extremely lucky, but we've got Elemental Hero Electrum. That guy with guns. So there we go, guys. That was my Jaden Yuki deck profile for season 1. Anyway, I will have his other seasons coming shortly. So don't forget to obviously like the video, leave me a comment in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on the deck, or you know, anything I should probably swap around. And also, please don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with all my future content. Until next time, guys, take care.